Welcome to Destiny. In this game you can play Strikes, Crucible, Gambit, Nightfall, Seal, Pit of Heresy, Shadow Throne, Altar of Sorrows, Prophecy, Raids, Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and much more. All you need to do to unlock all of these activities is getting to the top power level by grinding through the soft, hard, and pinnacle cap, collecting common, rare, legendary, and exotic gear that you can infuse and or masterwork using enhancement cores that you can buy with legendary shards from Spider and Untitled Chapter, or get by dismantling your gear. Just remember to look at the perks of the gear, because if you get annoying hunger with a tactical mag, tap the trigger and demolitionist, you wouldn't want to dismantle that now, would you? What? Seriously, what? That is kind of how it feels when you start as a new player in Destiny 2. Hi guys and welcome to Gaming Watcher. My name is Rolson and in this video I'll give you a complete beginner guide to Destiny 2 after the Beyond Light expansion. A lot has changed in Destiny 2 since this expansion, and therefore a lot of the older beginner guides, including my own, are no longer relevant, so I thought it was time to make a new one. Destiny 2 is an enormous game with so many different activities, currencies, quests, leveling systems and the like, that it is absolutely impossible as a new player to get an understanding of everything. The game simply has too much content for you to comprehend all at once. Sadly, the game does not do a very good job of slowly introducing you to all the different systems and activities, and most beginner guides I have seen make exactly the same mistake. They overload you with information. I'm not going to do that in this beginner guide. I am going to tell you how to spend your first maybe 50 hours of game time, what you should focus on and what you should forget about for now to get the best and most smooth introduction to the game. You see, once upon a time, starting as a new player in Destiny 2 was a linear experience where you started from level 0 and slowly worked your way up, getting introduced to all of the characters, destinations and storylines all in one nice, smooth, linear manner. Man, those were the days. Bungie just held you by the hand and led you into the wonderful world of Destiny 2. You didn't have to think for yourself at all. Today though, you have to create this linear experience for yourself, and I'm here to help you with that. So let's get started. First of all, let's take a look at what to focus on. First, you need to clear the intro mission in the Cosmodrome. That does not take a lot of time and is a nice little introduction quest line to the game. But after that, you just drop into the tower and have to figure out where to go by yourself. Now, you could go straight into playing all of the newest stuff in the game, but I would not recommend that. And the reason why is that you have absolutely no context for what is happening in Destiny right now. You need to get caught up on the story before you go into the newest campaign. So my recommendation for you is to start by completing all of the campaigns that are available from the beginning. That means beginning with the Forsaken campaign, then the Shadowkeep campaign, and then the new campaign, the Beyond Light campaign. Doing this would do two things for you. First of all, it helps you level up and get to the level where you naturally need to start focusing on other activities to continue raising your level. Secondly, it will give you an introduction to the universe of Destiny 2 and all the characters. Now, it might be a little bit confusing because Bungie has chosen to cut out the original campaign from Destiny 2, and now you can only play through the 3 expansion campaigns from Forsaken, Shadowkeep and Beyond Light, but you will at least get some story context and be introduced to the characters. The way that you start these old campaigns is by selecting the destination where the campaign takes place. The first one is Forsaken, which is located on the Tangled Shore. The second one is Shadowkeep, located on the Moon, and the third and the newest one is Beyond Light, which is located on Europa. When you select the destination in your director, you're able to launch the campaigns. When you finish the campaigns, you will have a much better grip on the story and the universe of Destiny 2, which in my opinion makes the end game way more satisfying. If you want to do other stuff in between the campaigns to mix it up a bit, I would recommend that you complete some exotic quests. After each campaign you will almost always have acquired some exotic quests, and from the intro mission you get the first quest step of the exotic quest for the SMG called the Risk Runner. This is a really awesome exotic that is also a lot of fun to use, and the quest is very easy. You might want to check that out if you get bored with the campaigns and need a break. The quest for Risk Runner is called A Spark of Hope. Now, as I said, one reason for completing these campaigns was to level up. In Destiny, the leveling system works a little differently than in most other games. First of all, you don't level up by gaining XP, at least not in a traditional sense. The levels that you gain from XP are a little special, but I'll get back to those. The main thing that you do to raise your character level is to acquire new gear. Your character power level, as it's called, is the average of the power level of your gear. So when you pick up a new piece of gear that is a higher power level than the gear you have equipped and switch them out, it will raise the average power level of all of your gear combined. So you're playing to get higher level gear. That is how you level up. So the way this works is that the higher power level you have, the fewer sources will drop gear that is higher than your average power level. The leveling is divided into 3 tiers. The first tier ends when your power level hits what is called the soft cap. This level changes from season to season, but the system stays the same. When your power level is under the soft cap, all gear drops will be at or above your current power level. This means that you can play any activity and raise your level. This is why I would recommend doing the campaigns first, because when you come above the soft caps, campaigns will no longer drop gear that is higher, and therefore doing the campaigns feel a lot less rewarding. The soft cap as of right now is 1200. The second tier above the soft cap of 1200 is a little harder. Here, only by doing weekly challenges do you acquire gear that is higher than your current power level. These weekly challenges you can find in the director. They are marked with a small golden star. When you hover your mouse over them, you can see that they reward what is called powerful gear. Powerful means that it will raise your power level. This tier does usually go around 50 levels. At 1250 you hit what is called the hard cap and enter the third tier. This tier at the moment goes from 1250 to 1260, and you can only raise your power level from what is called pinnacle rewards. If you ever hear the term pinnacle grind, that is what people are talking about. The sources that you can get pinnacle drops from are very few. It is only high level end game activities like raids and dungeons that can drop pinnacle rewards. This means that getting those last 10 levels will take you some time. So now we can get back to the levels that you earn from XP. You get XP from various sources, but the most effective way to get XP is from completing weekly and daily bounties. These you can get from almost all NPCs that you can talk to in the game. Some bounties are restricted to one activity or location, others you have to use certain weapons and such. It is all explained on the individual bounties. When you get enough XP, you will gain extra power levels from your seasonal artifact. This you can find in your inventory if you have unlocked it for the particular season, that is. Every season you can unlock a new artifact that you can then level up by getting XP, and this can give you additional power levels. You also get special mods for your weapons and armor from the artifact, but that's a whole other thing. Let's just focus on the leveling for now. So even if you have hit the pinnacle cap of 1260, you can still continue to raise your power level infinitely by gaining XP, but it gets harder and harder, so eventually there is a natural cap because there are only so many hours in a day, you know? Once you have finished your campaigns, my advice would be to focus on raising your power level by going through the tiers in the system until you reach at least 1250. At this point it makes more sense to begin focusing on other stuff, acquiring more exotic weapons and stuff like that. You know, optimizing your gear for the endgame activities. By the way, this focus on collecting new gear is not just about power leveling. Better gear makes all the difference in Destiny. Having the right exotics and legendaries to make the best loadout for a raid or other activity you're going into makes the game so much more fun to play. When you level up, you will pick up a lot of weapons and armor, and you will start to question which weapons you should dismantle and which ones you should keep. I would not recommend at this time to start figuring out all of the different perks on the different weapons to find out what you want to keep. What I would recommend is to simply store everything. In the tower you have a vault where you can store 500 pieces of gear. It's located right here in the tower. I would recommend that all legendary weapons that you pick up, all the purple ones, store all of them in the vault for now instead of dismantling them. Then, every now and then, when you have an hour to spare, you go to your vault and you start cleaning up. What I mean by this is, you pick a piece of gear and then you look at its perks. Then you open up this website called light.gg. On light.gg you can look up any weapons in Destiny and see what combination of perks is the ultimate combination on the weapon in question, the so-called guard roll. And so you can go through all of the copies of the same gear that you have picked up and search for the ones that has the best combination of perks. When you have found the one that you want to keep, you can dismantle the rest. By the way, I use an app called Little Light. They are not a sponsor or anything, I just use their app. This app lets you do a lot of stuff, but my favorite features are the inventory management and the guard roll markers. In this app you can move items around between your characters and your vault, so you don't have to go to the tower to switch out weapons or armor. And then it also marks the weapons that has a guard roll set of perks. So with this app it's very easy to spot the good gear. Thank me later, we have to move on. The gear that you want to keep might be lower than your power level. The solution for this is to infuse the weapon with a higher level one. You do this by selecting the weapon or armor that you want to raise in power level, and now you can choose this icon down here and choose a weapon or armor piece with a higher power level that you want to dismantle to raise the power level of the gear piece that you want to keep. Last thing I will say here is that when you dismantle legendary gear, you get what is called legendary shards. These shards I would recommend that you save for a guy called Sir. Sir appears every Friday in different locations throughout Destiny. He's not located on the map, so you have to know these locations. I'll get back to that. The thing about Sir is that he sells exotics, and he sells an engram that is called a faded engram. And what that does is it drops an exotic that you don't already have. This is a guaranteed new exotic. You can only buy one of those a week, and they cost 97 legendary shards. The way you find Sir is by going to the website called whereissir.com. I'll leave a link in the description. Here you can see exactly where to find him. There are usually other players standing by him too, so that sometimes helps a little bit with finding him as well. So your focus after completing all of the campaigns and leveling up should be to acquire the best gear in the game and get it up to your power level by infusing it. After doing that, you will have unlocked all of the activities in the game. You can now really start to participate in raids, dungeons and Trials of Osiris, which is the PvP endgame. These activities drop very good loot that will enhance your game even further. At this point you might begin to look at masterworking your armors to be able to create more advanced and specialized builds using mods. I'm not going to go into this because it's a whole other video, and this is so far into your journey with Destiny that it does not really make sense to think about right now. The last thing I'll say is that Destiny is a game with a lot of information that you need to take in, and many times you will have to Google stuff because Bungie does not always do a good job of explaining what things are or how to complete quests. Luckily, Destiny has a huge community of content creators that makes guides and walkthroughs of everything in the game, so usually it's a lot faster to Google it than to try and figure it out by yourself. I know it's weird to make a guide and say you need to Google some stuff, but in my own experience I would have wished that someone had told me when I started playing Destiny. I came from playing single player games only, and I was so frustrated that the game did not tell me anything about what to do or how to do it. Now, whenever I'm in doubt, I just Google it right away and get the answer, and so I'm a lot less frustrated with the game. One final note here is that Destiny is best when you play it with others. Here on Gaming Watcher we are creating a community. We have a Discord server and a clan that you are more than welcome to join if you like. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on future content. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.